All right, so we're about hip width distance apart, and we're just going to roll over onto the outside of the right foot and of the left, so that we're rolling the ankle slightly. So that's all the movement that's required, and we're just going side to side about 5 to 6 times. And you should feel maybe a little bit of stretch in the calf.
What are you doing? Go downstairs.
And those of you that I can't see, I'm not going to be able to see the chat either. So just be really mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it, and just being aware of it. And try and relax the parts of the body that aren't engaged. You know, like the arms can be relaxed in this one. So give the legs a little shake out. That's as much as we need to start off with. Now, we're going to bring, and I'll probably go sideways, that might be easier for you to see. We're bringing the right foot forward, and then the left foot is about half a stride back. So it's not a big wide stride, it's about half a stride, okay? And you're bringing all of the weight onto your front leg. Now, if your balance is a bit rocky, you might want to have a chair or something in front of you that you can put your hands on. Because what we're doing is we're keeping that front leg straight and we're lifting up onto the toes and back down. We're not holding it, we're just up and down. And you should feel that calf. If you've got something to hold on to, you can actually take that back foot off the mat completely, so that you know that you're only using the front leg. If you can't feel it in your calf, it will be because you're using your back leg. So just knock off the back leg and allow the front leg to take all of the weight and keep the leg nice and straight. And again, 6 or 7 of those is probably more than enough. And then we'll do the other side. So if you're still supporting yourself, just stay where you are and bring the left foot forward and the right foot slightly behind you. And then we're coming up onto the toes on the left leg, locking that front leg. And just using that back leg only for balance. If you can't feel anything, see if you can take that back foot off the mat and hold on to the wall or the chair or something like that, so that you know all of the weight is in that front leg. Should feel it in the calf. And then once you've done 6 or 7 on that side, just give those legs a shake out. That's all we need. Very simple, very easy. Okay, so the next one, we're in the same position again, but this time we're going to bring the hands down, if you can, to the floor. If you can't, something that you can lean on, like the chair seat or something like that. And you're taking the left leg off the mat. Now we're doing the opposite movement here. So you're bending the knee just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, so that you can feel the calf and maybe feel the quad starting to tense. That's all you need to feel. Let the head drop. Make sure you're breathing. Really listen to that fatigue scale. You don't want to be beyond 5 to a 7 out of 10 on that one. And then once you finish on that side, and you finish when you come to about a 7 out of 10. Oh yeah, I'm starting to feel that in the calf now. Yeah, or starting to feel it in the quad a little bit. So then we come to the other side, left foot forward. And again, if you've got dodgy knees, it's just a very small bend into the knee, just to exercise that calf and that quad on that leg. Let the head drop. Let yourself be nice and relaxed in your pose. Oh, it's like putting the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle together, looking at all of you. Seeing bits of everybody's bodies. It's so cool. And then when you finish that one, just slowly coming up, nice and slow. Remember, if we do anything quickly now, we're immediately going to bring that parasympathetic up into sympathetic arousal. So everything we do is slow and mindful. Okay, beautiful. All right, so the next exercise, we want the legs nice and wide. Does everyone know where the adductors are? They're these muscles in the thigh. Here, yeah. And you want to turn the toes in a little bit, become a bit pigeon-toed, so that you can actually feel a little bit of a stretch in those adductor muscles. Everybody with me? Great. Then we're going to do a nice big inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to fold forwards. And if you can come down all the way down and bring your hands to the mat or the hands to the bed, the chair seat, whatever it is that you've got available to you. And let the head drop. Make sure you're breathing. And then turn the right toes out to the corner of your mat. Bend the right knee and walk the hands over to that leg. Now, if it's available to you, you can bring your hands onto that foot or onto that calf or the shin. And keep the blade of the left foot firmly planted so that you can feel the stretch in that inner thigh on the left side. If you can't feel it, you might need a slightly wider stance. If it's really strong, then bring the stance closer together so that you're not feeling an overstretch there. Okay? If you're feeling it anywhere else, just be really mindful of lower back. And then we're going to bring the hands down onto the mat and walk around to the front again. Turn the right toes back in and turn the left toes out to the corner of the mat. And then bring the hands to exactly where you put them on the last side, whether they're on the shin, on the calf, on the foot, or just on the mat in front of you, or supporting yourself so that your lower back's not compromised, but you can feel the stretch on those adductors on the inner thighs. Let the head drop if you're able to, and then bring the hands back onto the floor and walk the hands back to the front. Now, we don't get up from here. You'll just heel and toe the feet together and bend the knees as much as you need to. And I don't know if there's any kiwis here, but let's be a fern. So let's slowly, with the knees really bent, unfold to bring ourselves up to a standing position. And opening out through the body, taking the arms back, opening out through the chest and expanding through that psoas area. You may even feel this in the tops of the thighs. You may feel it through the core of the body. Just stretch back and really feel that. Is that uncomfortable for you? Because that's an activated psoas right there. It's the opposite of how we're normally. So just feel that and honor that it may feel a little uncomfortable because emotions can come up even from just doing this. So lean back just a wee bit further and bend the knees just a little bit more and expand the fingers away from you as far as you possibly can so that you've got a real stretch happening through the arms, through the torso, even take the head back a little bit so that you're really opening up through the front of the body. Make sure you're not crunching that lower spine. Take a nice deep breath in and let's sigh it out. Letting it go. Beautiful. And then coming back into your natural standing position. Great. All right. So now we're going to. Has everyone got a wall they can lean? No, I tell you what, we won't worry about the wall. What we'll do a very quick one rather than the wall set, because that's normally 5 minutes. So if you want these exercises, you can always get in touch with me and I can give you the exercises. I'm modifying them slightly for you tonight, okay? So it's the opposite of what we were just doing. The toes are pointing out a little bit. The knees are bent. And this is what we call sumo in yoga, right? Or sumos call it sumo too. So you can bring the hands if you like. Oh, I can see a really good pose there. Is it Trev? Well done, Trev. That looks like a fearsome warrior to me. Okay, so with this one, and because you muted, it won't matter, but we lift the right leg and lift the left leg, lift the right leg, lift the left leg, and just keep doing that for a few more times. And then when you feel like you've got that real warrior thing happening, just find that position, bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat and hold it. Just hold it. And feel that stretch through the adductors, Feel it opening through the core. Take the shoulders back a little bit if you can. Extend the arms away from you. Oh, this is such a strong pose, but it's so good for us. So beneficial. And if it's too much, you passed your 7 out of 10 and you're heading up to 10 out of 10, just come up and have a rest. And now let's all of us bring ourselves up to have a rest. I promise you that is better than 5 minutes doing a wall sit, which is what we normally do. Okay, we are coming down to the mat. I'm just going to tip my screen a little bit. So we're going to be lying on our backs. If you've got a really good view of the camera lying down, then feel free to lie down. If you haven't, just watch me and I'll just take you very quickly through it and then I'll guide you all through it, okay? So I'll do it very quickly. So you're lying on your back, can everyone see me okay? And you've got your feet in butterfly position. So the feet are actually connected together. The knees are out to the sides, yeah? We hold that for a few breaths. And don't do this yet. We'll do it in a moment because I'm doing it very quickly. We're going to lift up here for about 3 or 4 breaths into a butterfly bridge. And then once we've held that, we're going to slowly come back down, take the feet away from us, but keep them in butterfly. And then just lift the knees slightly to allow the tremor to start. Now, one thing that is really, really important is if you feel really tired, overwhelmed, pain, anything like that, it's a 10 out of 10, okay? So all you have to do to stop it is straighten your legs and it will stop. All right, once the tremor starts, it won't stop until you stop it. This is how you stop it, okay? So just be mindful of that. That's what we call self-regulation, you being able to stop it if you want to. All expressions are welcomed in TRE. Laughing, crying, shouting, screaming, even breaking wind if that's what floats your boat, whatever. Let's let it all go. Don't hold on to anything, okay? Because this is your opportunity to have a real good let go. In the privacy of your own home, what could be better? So you're lying on your back. If you need a little pillow under your head, but make sure it's just little because we want to try and keep the neck as straight as we can. I'm tremoring already. I don't know if you can see that. I haven't even got into position yet, but it's there already. So the more you practice this, and what I didn't mention, the greatest benefit is that you can learn this and practice at home every day for the rest of your life if you want to. It's not something that you have to go to a practitioner or a therapist for. It's self-development, it's self-help, it's self-awareness that come out of this process. That's why I love it so much, because you learn it and then you've got it in your toolkit for forever. So we're bringing the, oh, I can see someone shaking already. You bring the soles of the feet together in butterfly position and drop the knees out as wide as you possibly can. And feel the stretch on the inner thigh muscles. If you've got a dodgy back and you're on a hard floor, you can put a blanket or a towel or something underneath your butt cheeks to soften around your lower back if that's better for you. I'm sorry, I can't keep my legs still because they've started tremoring, so off I go. All right, so bring the hands down by your sides, palms down, and just lift the back of your body off the mat. If you do yoga, you'll know this is a butterfly bridge. If you're a pretty fit, active person, you can hold this for a minute. If it feels too strong and it's taking you past your 7 out of 10, just come back down nice and slow and then have a little rest and then come back up again, okay? Don't hold it if it's too much. Now, if you've got some wobbling and shaking and stuff going on while your legs are up, perfect, your body's ready. Don't try and stop it, just let it rock or whatever it wants to do. That's perfect. I keep watching Philly because she looks lovely with her light background behind her, doesn't she? All right, taking a deep breath, inhale. And then as you exhale, just bringing yourself slowly back onto your mat so that the whole spine is connecting onto the mat. And then keep the feet in butterfly position, but take them down your mat. And a good measure here, if you can all remember when you were at school, 90-degree right angle, that's about where you want your knees to be, at a 90-degree angle. You can relax the hands away from your body now, but just notice if they're on your body. If they're on your body, it's a protection mechanism that we naturally do to protect ourselves. So just notice where on your body you're protecting yourself. Just notice, no judgment, just notice. But if it's comfortable to have your hands away from your body, just let them be palms up and relaxed. The knees are out to the side, but now you're going to lift them towards each other, maybe a couple of centimeters. So if you have a look at, I don't know how well you can see me, but if you have a look at Philly, you can see the position that she's in. That's a perfect tremor position. So the knees are out wide, but not really wide. Just still feel maybe a little bit of tension in the inner thighs, but no discomfort. And then just allow up to 2 minutes of holding the legs in that position for the tremor to kick in. Oh, somebody's got a dog there. That's a great reminder. When you tremor, your dog will settle. If you have a stressed dog and you tremor, the dog will completely relax, usually go to sleep. So I hope this little one doesn't prove me wrong. She's sort of a bit lively, or she or he's a bit lively at the moment. I'm just checking in. Julie McDonald, just bring your feet back up the mat a little bit and bring them into butterfly position so the soles of the feet are together, and lift the knees together just a wee bit more. Not too much. That's it. That's it. Oh, and I can see somebody's legs above you there, Catherine. Yeah. So hold them in position, but don't force them to stay still. Is it Chanel? Are you able to turn your screen so I can see your legs? That's it. Oh, yes. Okay, there's a Carolyn O who's got a beautiful tremor happening. And Lisa, I'm not sure if you're tremoring or whether, oh, yes, you are. So Lisa's got a tremor happening. Looks like Fiona has too. Sorry, I'm so nosy. I love to watch people shake. So if you're not shaking, just hold your position until the shake kicks in. Bear in mind that it could be a tremor, it could be a flap, it could be a tiny little shimmer. And sometimes the little shimmers are the really big traumas. Also, the legs may want to go from side to side. And if they do, just let them. Let your body have complete and full permission to do whatever it wants to do to release the stress and tension. And everybody take a nice deep breath in through the nose and a nice breath out through the mouth. A nice sighing breath, just letting go. Philly, are you tremoring yet? Give me a thumbs up. Oh, good stuff. Yep. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of movement there. Is it Deb A in the beautiful black and pink tights? You got a little tremor happening there? Great, thumbs up, fantastic. Okay, looks like Dove has got some movement there. Fiona's got movement. Everybody that I can see, I'm not sure. Heather, give me a thumbs up if you could feel some movement. Yeah, okay, fantastic. So everyone that I can see has already got a tremor happening. Fantastic. Like you've got the movement happening. So just let it happen. And if you're uncomfortable now, all you have to do is straighten your legs and have a rest, because now that that tremor has started, it won't stop until you stop it, as a general rule. So feel free to rest as often as we're still working with that 7 out of 10 fatigue scale. If your fatigue is above a 7, you need to rest. So Julie, you just rested and you come back up. See if you can find that sweet spot that you were in, and that tremor will just kick off again for you. Try not to do any other movements like moving onto your side or doing other stretches. Let's not confuse the body. The body has now found the release mechanism to let go of the stress and tension. So let it do what it wants to do. The body has so much innate wisdom. It knows so much better than our mind. Our mind is trying to stop us because it doesn't know what's safe. Our body knows what is safe for us, and it will never make you tremor and hurt yourself. The lady with the tight neck, whose name I can't remember, if you're still feeling the tension, oh, hello, Fiona, right. So hopefully that is going to start to release, yeah? Keep your head straight and just looking up to the sky so that there's no extra tension. And just make sure that if you're lying on a little pillow, that your chin is very slightly tucked. So it's tucked in very slightly. Yeah. There's some great shakes going on there. If you've got a chance to have a look at anybody, you can see that everybody's got movement happening. That's great. And you can rest whenever you want to. Now you can bring your knees a little bit closer together now. So there's like 3 positions here. So you're still keeping your feet in butterfly position, but you're bringing the knees a little bit closer together. And I don't know if you can all see me in the position that you're in, but what starts to happen is the tremor starts to come up the body over time. If it does tonight, fantastic, but normally it takes time. So I don't know if you can see my hips, and then it's coming up into my chest, and my neck is doing a lovely little shake as well. So my head is moving. I can also feel it coming through my shoulders. So like this is my go-to for tension and stress relief, because it just goes wherever it's needed. So if you're feeling that the movement is starting to come up your body in any way, just give it permission, just allow it to. And if it's just in your legs, please don't be disappointed. Normally on your first shake, that's what happens. You'll get a good shake maybe happening in your legs. And then as you continue to practice, you'll find that the body will start to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. That's great, everybody. Really good. So move the knees even a little closer and see what happens. You might not be able to stay in full butterfly, but still keep the feet touching, and just notice what happens when you come even closer. Is it a bigger shake? Is it a smaller shake? Notice what's happening in the rest of your body. Are the other parts of your body engaged? Take another nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose, and a really big releasing breath through the mouth. And just notice if the shake changes when you do that. If you're getting tired or if you haven't rested yet, please straighten your legs and have a rest, even if it's just for a moment. It's important not to overtire, because when we get overtired, we get stressed, and we want to maintain this now that we've started to really get that release happening. You're doing great, guys. And then once you've rested, you just come back to the position that you were last in. So your knees are pretty close together now. Sophie, if your knees are knocking and that's causing any discomfort, take them a bit wider apart. Oh, good. Looks like Catherine's got a nice little tremor happening there. And Heather, oh, Heather's is taking off now. That's beautiful. Yeah. Now, if it stops for some unknown reason, don't worry. Just stretch the legs out and have a rest and come back up. And it's like once you've got this tremor happening, you can start to play with it to find the sweet spot where you get the tremor. Yeah. So it's like trying to find that sweet, oh, yeah, that's where that likes to shake. That's where that likes to move. Also, notice the rest of your body. It is most common for people's hands and fingers to be twitching, even though they're not aware of it. Just become really aware of what your body is doing and how your body is utilizing this amazing way to release all that stress and tension from the nervous system. I also have to tell you just a little story while you're lying there having a shake. I had a lady who came to a class a few years ago, and she was elderly. She was in her 70s, and she'd heard about it. And at the end of the class, she said, "Is there anybody that can help me up? Because I've got dodgy knees." So these two guys helped her up off the floor because she couldn't stand up on her own. She hadn't been able to for a long time. The next week, she came for a second session, and somebody had arrived late, so I was taking a payment at the end of the class, and I turned around and she was already standing up, and I said, "Who helped you get up?" And she just looked at her body and she said, "I just got up. I didn't even think about it." So it took 2 sessions for her to find the mobility to be able to use her knees and to be able to get up off the floor without even thinking about it. So it's like, let's get that brain out of the way that limits us. Oh, Carolyn's having a right old shake. Look at those calves going. I hope you're enjoying this, people. I'm enjoying it. I love watching people shake. Really good. So everybody just straighten your legs now and just take a moment's rest. Whether you're loving it or not, just take a moment's rest. That's it. Just allow it to settle. And then when you're ready, you can bring the legs back up, but this time you're going to have the feet flat on the floor and have them maybe just a little bit less than hip width distance apart, and the knees a little bit wider than that. And just notice if you start to shake, and I can see some of you are already shaking in that position. This might be more comfortable for you. We always start off with the legs in butterfly so that we're putting a bit of stretch into those adductor muscles, which are pulling the psoas down. And if you're getting no shake there at all, just give it a moment and see if it wants to kick in, because it is more comfortable for most people. Shanila, I can see movement in your tummy. So it's starting to move up into your tummy a little bit. Yeah, so it's moving through that sacral area and coming up through into your body. I don't know how many of you are aware of Kundalini energy that comes from the base of the spine through all of the energy centers and up through the crown. That can happen with trauma release exercises. I have seen it. It's beautiful. Also, a few magic and miracles, people coming out of their first ever class and landing the job that they've always dreamed of, but they hadn't even applied for it. They ended up being headhunted, and the phone call came just as they were finishing their class. Or financial problems that have been hanging around for 2 years being instantly resolved with a phone call straight after the class. So little miracles that happen, and I'm going to take full credit for them in terms of the tremors really help to release stuck energy, stuck thoughts, and allow us the freedom to be so much more flowing and fluid in our lives. so that we don't get stuck and we don't get caught up. Philly, everyone I can see is having a beautiful tremor, so I'm very excited. Okay, there's a question coming in, so I'll sneak in and see what it says. This is from Sarada. Sorry, Sarada, I have to put my glasses on. Oh. Will you be right at the bottom or right at the top? I can't find it now. Oh, be down the bottom, won't it? Sorry, I can't find your question. Oh, hang on, it says 4 new messages. What does it mean if you don't have large tremors? Well, for all the men that are here tonight, size doesn't matter. The size of the tremor does not necessarily indicate the size of the trauma. So my friend that lost everything in the floods in Brisbane several years ago, she figured it out because she became a TRE provider. She figured it out that when she had the tiny little shimmery tremors, that was the biggest traumas that she was releasing. The big flappy tremors where there was lots of movement were literally the day-to-day stresses that she was letting go of. So interestingly, it doesn't matter what the size of the tremor is, as long as you're allowing it to be a natural tremor. And then Dove has asked, how long do you recommend doing it for? It feels very intense. If it feels intense, rest. You are already. Yeah, just lie down and allow the process to integrate through your body. Keep the legs out straight so that you don't keep tremoring. So just lie down and allow it to process through your body. Did you hear me, Dove? I just suggest lying down and just, allow it to process. If it feels intense, it's time to stop. If the intensity is a really cool feeling for you, then by all means keep going. My 2 crazy dogs are now asleep. So what did I say about dogs? Steph's dogs have now gone to sleep. It's so calming for animals. They've got a 6th sense, so as soon as you start tremoring, they can feel it. That looks like all the questions for now, but I'm happy to take questions afterwards. It's about 4 minutes to 7, Philly, so I'm not sure what time you want me to stop. I would probably suggest now.
Yeah, we usually finish at about 8:15.
Oh, 8:15. Okay. All right. Well, if you feel like carrying on and you want to do a few more minutes, just play with your positions. Yeah, Lisa Constantine is got a lovely undulating movement coming up her body. So I should probably give a little attention to that. That is the energy moving up through the spinal column. Okay, in if you like, in a psychosomatic rhythm. So that ties into the network spinal care, where I work and teach another modality. It's like the energy is wanting to move up and down the body as well as side to side. And it's such a beautiful feeling when that happens. I'm sure Lisa will agree with that. So how often should you tremor? 2 to 3 times a week for 10 to 15 minutes. So not long and not too often. It doesn't need to be every day. But if you have a stressful experience and you feel, out of sorts, a bit shaken, whatever it is, find yourself a place on the floor. I've had a few car accidents and I tremor straight after the car accident. And then I'm clear and clean and able to deal with all the things I have to deal with, like insurance and getting the car towed and all those sorts of things, which I wasn't able to when I was in my stressed and traumatized state straight after the accident. But I only tremored for like 10 to 15 minutes. Remember to rest, everybody, if you need to. I know we get caught up in the experience, but if you're feeling a little fatigued, please make sure and rest, because you don't want to overtire yourself or go beyond that 7 out of 10 on your fatigue scale. Just check out that the rest of your body is relaxed. And if you've finished and you just want to rest, just allow the process to integrate, because you may still get a few twitches and tweaks happening as you lie there integrating the process. Just get in touch with your breath if you've finished, and do some nice slow breaths to integrate the process. We've still got a few people tremoring, so we'll just give it like another minute, and then maybe we can open up to questions and things once you've had a chance to integrate. That's it. Everybody's sort of stopping now. So if everybody puts their legs down straight now with their heels on the ground, relax your hands either away from your body or on your body. Close your eyes and just sink in to the process that you've just experienced for yourself. And say thank you to your body for being so gracious to allow you to have that amazing experience. Feel the breath. Feel the energy floating down into your toes, into your fingers. Allow your face to soften. Just letting go of any remaining tension that may be in your body. Find your smile and just smile to yourself. Feel the relaxation floating through your body. This is balance. With practice, this is bliss. Just feel the breath moving through your body. Feel your belly rise as you inhale and fall away as you exhale. Just gently starting to find a little bit of movement in your fingers and your toes, keeping the eyes closed. And now let's have a nice stretch. Stretching the arms overhead if you've got room, stretching out the legs. And I didn't mention, but so many people have great big yawns when they're doing TRE. So just have that beautiful TRE yawn. Oh. allowing the body to stretch. And then if it feels good for you, just bringing the knees up towards the chest, having a nice little rock from side to side. And when you're ready, just rolling over onto whichever side is available to you and just lying there for a couple of breaths. When I teach yoga, this is always our gratitude pose. So just bring into your consciousness right now as you lie there, one thing that you're really grateful for in this moment. And when you're ready, just gently bringing yourself back up into a seated position.